Hey there guys, welcome back to Texas Beer Reviews, and we'll be looking at a Texas beer for this share finally. This is Jester King's Nocturn Chrysalis. So this is their wild ale re-fermented with blackberries, and it is barrel aged. This is blend 3. It was bottled back in May of 2015, so a year and some odd months on it. And it is 5.7% alcohol by volume, 1.003 final gravity, and pH is 3.3. And this is thank you to Donnie. So, we've all had Nocturn before, quite a few times. Of course, never reviewed it. Very excited to actually start reviewing some Jester King stuff here. So, I'm very excited to check this one out. Do we want to open this? Let's think right here. We'll go for it. Let's do it. May have been shaken up a little bit, but should be okay, I hope. Jester King beers do have a tendency to, well, they get pretty active, pretty lively. So, oh, there it goes.
Bless America, man.
Well, we'll clean that up after the
That's about just the way it announced.
after the video. So, pours out a very nice dark purple. It's just nice dark, you know, sort of a. It's not as dark as, of course, blackberry, but it's pretty close to that. You know, looks more like raspberry, I suppose. But it's got a very thin, slightly off white head. And thank you, Tomas, for getting some paper towels here. It's not the first time I've spilled beer everywhere, so.
We had a clue this wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah. Kind of had a feeling, but you know, figured we'd try it out. Anyway, looks nice enough. So let's go ahead and check out the aroma. Oh man, yeah, that is super jammy.
Like a homemade wine.
Yeah, very actually very wine-like too. Yeah. Really jammy blackberries. I mean, blackberry jam. It's got a bit of kind of a funkiness to it as well. Of course, you know, this is with their wild yeast, their wild yeast strains. Their mixed culture. They've got a house blend that they do. And I didn't smell super tart to me. I mean, it's got some acidity to it, but it doesn't smell too sour actually. But it just sounds like blackberry pie, so let's get into it. Cheers.
Ooh, that's good.
That is really good.
Wow. Yeah, that is drinking very well right now.
My last one, so.
tons of blackberry jam. Very vinous, a nice, like, kind of a, you know, a red wine quality to it. You know, it's got some earthiness, and it's nicely acidic. It's not too sour, but
Not too tart.
yeah, not too tart, but tart enough to really kind of give it some character. Yeah. On the mouthfeel, yeah, very light.
Carbonation feel like it's just like right on point too.
Yeah, not overcarbed, not too low either. It's just enough to kind of give it sort of a lightness to it, this nice effervescence, but it still feels kind of full in a sense, you know. And kind of a nice tart, you know, finish on it. It really doesn't, kind of lingers a bit, doesn't fade away too quickly, and definitely thirst quenching in a certain sense. Yeah, no, finish is really dry. Not really any sweetness to speak of. You get the nice kind of jammy blackberry quality, but without really that kind of sweetness to it. Very dry and easy drinking in that sense. And of course, no bitterness or anything like that to speak of. So, for this bottle, because I've had Blend 3 before, fresh and aged for about, 6 months or so. I haven't had it this old before, of course. And for me, I think this bottle's doing about a 4.75 out of 5 stars. It's very on point. I don't know, you guys.
I agree.
Yeah,
it
it's
wasn't cheesy like the last one we got.
yeah. The last bottle we had a bit of a cheesiness to it, and I don't really get that of this at all. Looks like either it was just that bottle or it kind of cleared up. Yeah, you know, sometimes you get kind of that.
Like a cheese.
Yeah.
Like a cheese over
Really?
Yeah, like a funky goodness.
Yeah.
Odor or taste?
I got
Taste.
odor.
Really?
Yeah.
Taste.
I got taste. It kind of has. Yeah, it's a little weird. I've had some beers that kind of have that, or have had that, and it's not usually too desirable. I mean, some cheesiness in a certain aspect, certain beers, you know, lambics and goose or whatever, you can kind of get a little bit more of, but I don't think it works as well with Jester King stuff. You know, so but this bottle does not have it, which is very nice. So it's aged pretty well. I would definitely say so. But that's pretty much it, I guess, for Jester King's Nocturn Chrysalis. So a little bit more about it, so I didn't really cover that. So this is one of their barrel-aged offerings, as I mentioned, and they're pretty limited, and they release it once a year. So I think this batch last year was 2 per person. I think, was this year 2 per person as well? It was 3 per person. So this year's was 3 per person. You get it at the brewery only. Though they're on the outskirts of Austin there in the hill country.
I think this year they only had like 1,200 bottles this year.
Yeah, it's always very low. I mean, it's usually anywhere between, I don't know, it's 1,000, maybe even less for some of the really limited things like Sherry Atrial or Gin Nocturne, up to about 4,500 as a max. I think Atrial this year was about that much, and Nocturne was about similar, or not Nocturne, Montmorency was about that much too. Yeah. But these are pretty tough to get. There are always tons of people that go out for it, and it sells out, you know, in a weekend sometimes, like Atrial, in a couple days, if not a day. So very, very thankful you brought this here, Donnie. These are
Worth trading for.
yes,
Yeah,
definitely so. These are, you know, I've had a lot of other different stuff out there, and I don't sound like a homer, but I think Jester King is just as good, if not better, than a lot of the other, you know, big breweries out there doing the same kind of stuff. Hill Farmstead, you know, a lot of the lambics too, even. It's very similar to Sarah, Santa Darius, Casey. A lot of those are very similar, and I think Jester King holds its own against all of those beers, or breweries at least. So, but that's pretty much it on Nocturne. You can find some of their other beers on the shelves, some of their less limited stuff, but anything barrel aged like that, usually brewery only, and goes pretty quick. So. That's pretty much it, though, for this episode. So I've got some more barrel-aged stuff still to go. But as always, think global, drink local, and cheers.